What a day. What a day. What a day. What a day. What's up, everybody out there? Cowboys post-game show. Cowboys game just wrapped up with the Commanders. Cowboys 38, Commanders 10. I was waiting for the final of this Rams and 49ers game. As soon as I turned off the TV, the Rams had caused a 49ers fumble. It looks like the Rams are going to win. So if the Rams end up winning, which it looks like they're about to do, it will be the Cowboys and the Packers in the first round of the playoffs next weekend in the wild card round in Dallas. This is the Cowboys post-game show. Cowboys 38, Commanders 10. The Cowboys wrap up the number 2 seed in the NFC. They win the NFC East for the second time in 3 seasons. The Cowboys finished the regular season with a 12-5 record. The Cowboys, they got punched in the mouth a little bit today. Let's be real about it. Early on, the game was a tad bit closer than I would have liked. At one point, the Commanders nursed a 10-7 lead. Punched the Cowboys in the mouth, like I said. I thought the Cowboys came out a little bit sloppy. The Cowboys did have a blocked field goal that was returned to Dallas territory. Commanders ended up scoring off that one. Cowboys did have a tipped interception. Commanders ended up getting points off that. The Commanders got 10 points off of those 2 miscues from the Cowboys, 10-7 Commanders. But from that point on, the Dallas Cowboys scored 4 consecutive touchdowns on 4 consecutive possessions. The Cowboys ended that game in the second and the third quarter. Tony Pollard got in the end zone. CeeDee Lamb had 2 touchdown receptions. Brandon Cooks had a touchdown reception. An absolute beautiful corner pass from Dak Prescott. Prescott played phenomenal today, in my opinion. I know he had the tipped interception. I'm going to say that's not really his fault. Tip balls happen. Prescott today, 31 of 36, 279 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Prescott was phenomenal. My favorite play that Dak Prescott had today was the touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb in the back of the end zone when Prescott scrambled a little bit, was moving around in the pocket, was sitting, looking, directed CeeDee towards the back of the end zone and fired an absolute bullet to CeeDee Lamb. That, to me, was elite quarterback play at its finest. That was Dak Prescott being in command of the offense. That was Dak Prescott having the confidence to sit in the pocket and wait for his receiver to get open. And that was just some great offensive line blocking from that front of the Cowboys, who was missing Tyler Smith and who was missing Zach Martin, who was a late scratch today. So I thought the Cowboys played well. And CeeDee Lamb, 13 receptions, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb finishes with over 1,700 yards receiving on the season. That's 9th best all time. The 9th best receiving season in the history of the NFL belongs to CeeDee Lamb. That is absolutely insane to think about. Micah Parsons got a sack. He has 14 on the seasons. That's a career high for him. A lot of great things happened for the Cowboys today, but the one thing that I want y'all guys to really pay attention to, and what you're going to take away from this game is this. The Cowboys were down 10-7. Things could have went sideways for the Cowboys. The Cowboys could have got into that usual rut that they do, where they start feeling all weaked out for themselves, or they get all sad and, oh, we're down, and, oh, we don't have the lead. How are we going to come back from this? 10-7, Cowboys didn't falter. They score 4 consecutive touchdowns, 4 straight drives, absolutely dominating, I should say. A touchdown at the end of the half and a touchdown to open up the second half. Cowboys put this game away at the end of the third quarter. Brandon Aubrey did miss a field goal. He doinked one, but he came back and nailed a 50-yarder, which made it 38-10. It's always good to get those misses out of the way. For Christ's sake, he was 35 of 35, right? I'd rather him miss now. I'd rather him have a blocked field goal now than next week when they play Green Bay and Dallas in the NFC wildcard game. Get those out of the way now. I don't want to hear nobody talking about he has the yips, this and that. Nah, he's good. He's golden. Get the miss out of the way now. Get that blocked field goal out of the way now. Clean it up. Get ready for the Green Bay Packers next week. But it's an exciting time. If you have any comments, get them in. The Cowboys just won the division with a 12-5 mark. Who would have thought that about 3 weeks ago, when the Cowboys got blown out against Buffalo, and then a couple of weeks back, when the Cowboys lost against the Miami Dolphins, both on the road, who would have thought 2 to 3 weeks back that we'd be sitting here right now with the Cowboys as divisional champions? Now, mind you, the Philadelphia Eagles, that is an absolute crap show, what's going on over there in Philadelphia. They got their asses whipped today against the New York Giants 27-10. At one point, it was 24-0. The Eagles finish 11-6 on the season. And if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and what they did in their last several weeks of play, they just absolutely blew it, y'all. The Eagles had a big lead on the Cowboys. And I'm pulling up the Eagles schedule right now as we speak because I want to see exactly how bad the Eagles blew this NFC East divisional lead. The Eagles started out 10-1 on the year. And then they end up losing. Get this. They lost 5 out of their last 6 games. And they blew the NFC East. They blew it. The Eagles have a lot of problems. The Eagles are going to the playoffs, of course. But the Cowboys take the NFC East divisional crown. Final score 38-10 over Washington. Impressive showing from Dallas. They had to go out there. They had to win. They had to make a stamp. They had to put a statement on this game. And they did. A lot of people might have thought we're going to see the same old Cowboys. We're going to see the same old Cowboys come up short on the road. Going to see the same old Dallas not be able to get it done when it matters. It mattered today. Stakes on the line. Number 2 seed on the line. NFC East divisional crown on the line. That stuff matters. Micah Parsons and Jaron Kearse earlier this week both said that their playoffs start today. And it was a great showing from the Cowboys. 38-10. Dallas wins. If you have any comments, get them in. We're celebrating. It is a Cowboys NFC East divisional number 2 seed celebratory party today. How do you feel about the Cowboys going into the playoffs is my next question for you guys. They got the Packers in round 1. Now, I talked about this morning on my Sunday Sports Rush show on News Talk Keys. It's possibly looking like this for the Cowboys. You get the Packers at home next week. If you should win that game and the Lions should beat the Rams, you would have a rematch with the Lions in the divisional round in a couple of weeks' time. Cowboys are guaranteed at least 2 home playoff games if they win next week. 8-0 at home this year. First time they've done that since 1980, 1981. 16-game home winning streak for the Cowboys. That's incredible in its own right. But right now it's looking like this. It's looking like Packers in round 1. If you beat the Packers, it's looking like the Lions in round 2. How do you feel about that potential path heading to a possible NFC title game where they might just run into the San Francisco 49ers? But hell, who knows the way things are going here in the playoffs? The Cowboys go in as the number 2 overall seed. Let's get to some comments here. I see you guys going. We got Steven in here, Steven Naranjo. What's up, Steven? Steven says, explain how the MVP award doesn't go to Dak. Dude, has Dak Prescott got himself back into the MVP discussion? He threw 4 touchdowns today. Dak Prescott ended the season with 9 overall interceptions, or excuse me, 8 interceptions. Well, let me refresh these stats real quick. I don't think these are refreshed. But yeah, he ends the season with 4 touchdown passes today. Dak Prescott doing absolutely amazing. I believe he has 9. I don't think these stats are updated yet on ESPN.com, but he threw 4 touchdowns today, 1 interception. I would say Dak Prescott has to be back in the MVP running, in my honest opinion. He's been playing outstanding. He's been playing the best football of his career. Moving on, we got Aaron in here. How about them Dallas Cowboys, bro? We balled out, but the job is not done. It is not done. It's not done. And this team feels a tad bit different, y'all. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say those words about that game that happens in February, about that game that's taking place in Las Vegas. I'm not going to say those words, but I will say NFC title game because I think this team has a nice path to potentially get there. You got 2 games at home where your offense is putting up over 31 points per contest, where you just play absolute fantastic ball in the fortress known as AT&T Stadium. We know the record at home and how great they can be. You would have the Packers. You would have potentially the Lions. I like their chances. The job is definitely not done. We got Bobby Bush in here. What's up, Bobby? Bobby says, thank you for doing what you do, James. I don't usually have comments, but I look forward to your post-game commentary every week. How about them Cowboys? Well, thanks, Bobby. I appreciate that, my guy. You can always drop comments in here. I appreciate you letting me know that you enjoy this commentary. I like doing these post-game videos. I like talking to Cowboys. I'm very passionate about the Dallas Cowboys. As you can tell, I like to be a straight shooter about them. Win, lose, whatever. I tell it how I see it, and usually how I see it is how it is. Thanks, Bobby. I appreciate you getting in. Cowboys 38, Commanders 10. Edward says, here we go. Damn straight. Jose Gonzalez Bear says, we them boys. You damn right, baby. Divisional champs, 12-5, the second divisional title in 3 seasons under Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy now has 42 wins as a head coach since his time in 2020, taking over the Dallas Cowboys. That's a lot. This team has established themselves under Mike McCarthy. 3 straight 12-win seasons. I don't want to hear talk about Mike McCarthy being fired. I know that was kind of a weird storyline that was going on this week. If the Cowboys lose to Washington or if the Cowboys get embarrassed in the playoffs, is Mike McCarthy's job on the line? I think that's just complete BS. I think that's just talking head, national media, trying to bait click, trying to get you guys to engage. That's what I think that is. You don't fire a coach that has turned around your program and has produced 3 straight 12-win seasons and gotten you 2 out of 3 divisional titles. Of course, we want to see more playoff results, but I like my odds of reaching the playoffs in consecutive years and earning those results. The more chances you get at the playoffs, the more often you're going to hit in the playoffs, if that makes sense. You increase your odds of winning. I mean, hello, the more times you're in the playoffs, the more chances you have to win playoff games, right? You want to get to that game in February, you have to make the playoffs. I would not even dare think about firing Mike McCarthy. I think he's been outstanding for this team ever since he took over. He's a winning coach. He has skins on the wall. He's won a Super Bowl. You keep Mike McCarthy at all cost. That's what I would do. Carlos is in here. He says, how about them Cowboys? What's up, baby? How about them Cowboys? Jerry's in here. Jerry says, I feel good about this team. They're clicking at the right time, man. Yeah. You get a gritty win against the Lions. That probably shouldn't have gone your way, but NFL refs, right? Things happen. Cowboys get a win. You get a big win against Washington. You're going into the playoffs on a 2-game win streak. You got to feel good about yourself. The Cowboys, as it stands, have beaten 4 out of these 6 playoff teams that they will be facing. So that's a pretty awesome stat for you guys to know right there. The Cowboys, they got a good chance. Got a good chance. Carlos says, I take that S all day. Run game looked damn good today. It did. Tony Pollard showed some juice, man. Those delayed draws, those outside sweeps. Even Rico Dowdle had some good runs. You saw CeeDee get a carry out of the backfield. He saw Turpin get a carry out of the backfield at one point. But Pollard had 70 yards, had a touchdown. There was one drive where they handed it off to Pollard for 9. They handed it off to him again for another 9. They handed it off to him again. He picked up about 12 or 13, got down to the 1-yard line, and then they rewarded him, and he picked up that touchdown at the goal line. That is the kind of drive, the kind of possession that he needs to get that confidence going, especially in short yardage goal line situations. Get Hunter Lupke in there as a blocking fullback, which they did. He did a great job blocking. And give it to Pollard and see if number 20 can get in between the tackles. He did. Excellent drive from Pollard. Love what I saw out of TP20 today. Hopefully he turns it up here as the playoffs go. Bears in here. As long as the Packers don't have Rodgers anymore, we got this. The boogeyman's not there. Boogeyman is not there, but they do got that young kid, Jordan Love, who has been looking pretty damn impressive. I will say that. Jordan Love, the Packers aren't going to be a slouch, guys. And that's the thing. Matt LaFleur is going to have them ready to play. Jordan Love, 30 touchdown passes, 11 interceptions on the season. He just, had himself quite a year for his first year starting. Had 2 touchdown passes today against the Bears. Packers won't be a slouch at all. That would be a tough contest. Edward in here, he says the 49ers lost. They did. 49ers lose. That means it's Cowboys and Packers in the wild card round. Bear says the Cowboys will win it all. Woo! I like that. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty, guys. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. But I just wanted to come on here, celebrate NFC East divisional champs. Number 2 overall seed in the NFC. 12-5 record. 3 straight 12-win seasons. 2 home playoff games guaranteed as the number 2 overall seed. Times are good if you're a Cowboy fan right now. The Eagles are falling apart. They're falling all over themselves. That's something that you can also be happy about. You don't apologize for winning in the NFL. And the Cowboys, of course, have won 2 in a row, and they won today 38-10 over Washington, a depleted Washington, a Washington that's about to get the number 2 overall pick in the draft, a Washington that's about to fire every single buddy, Ron Washington, and hell, who else knows on his staff. Sam Howell's not going to be the starting quarterback next year. They're cleaning house in Washington, but the Cowboys go into Washington and they get the damn win. RJ, what's up, baby? RJ says, let's hear your best. Here we go. All right. I don't want to blow up y'all's ears because I got the lav mic on, but I'll give it a good shot right here. All right. He wants my best. Here we go. All right. I'm pretending I'm Prescott at the line of scrimmage. Here we go. How was that? Is that a good one? That was all right. That was decent. I could have went louder. I just don't want to blow up you guys because I'm wearing this mic, and that can, that wouldn't be good. But here we go. Dallas Cowboys. Edward says the Eagles are having locker room problems. Yeah, man. A.J. Brown, a lot of people in that Eagles locker room not happy about how they played. There's talk amongst Eagles fans that they want to fire Nick Sirianni. How funny is that? When the Eagles were on top of the world at 10-1, they were proclaiming that Nick Sirianni was the best thing since sliced bread, but now all of a sudden they've lost 5 out of 6 and Nick Sirianni doesn't know how to coach a team. It's funny how fickle fans can be, especially those in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia sports radio has been going crazy. I keep up with that stuff. I'm a radio nerd at heart. I keep up with what's happening in New York, Washington, Philadelphia, especially Philadelphia since the Eagles have been good as of late. And a lot of their radio guys want Sirianni gone. So we'll see what happens with that. Final score, Cowboys 38. Commanders 10. I'm going to wrap this up, make it short and sweet. I appreciate y'all guys getting in. I appreciate y'all guys being here on this post-game show that I've been doing this season. I've done all the games except for maybe 2 or 3. The holidays took off. When I went to the Cowboys game, I took that one off. But other than that, I've been enjoying this. I'll be back for the playoffs next week with the post-game recap of Cowboys and Packers wild card round. How do y'all feel about that? Are you confident going against the Packers? As we stand right now, Cowboys and Packers, how are you feeling about that game? It's going down in Dallas. Yes, it's the Packers. Yes, they're going to have that big G on their helmet. Yeah, the yellow's going to be in AT&T Stadium. Yeah, you're going to see some cheeseheads. Yes, the Packers have been the Cowboys' nemesis in the playoffs over the course of the last decade or so. How do you feel about that game right now? Are you confident? Can the Cowboys win this game? Do you think the Cowboys should be a big favorite in this game? Time will tell. Time will tell. But as I sit here right now, I think the Cowboys should probably win that game. I think if Vegas is going to set a line, I'll just predict the line a la Bill Simmons. I'd go Cowboys 4.5. I think the Cowboys will be anywhere from 4 to 4.5 point favorites against the Packers whenever these playoff lines open up. That's just my gut feeling on how the Packers and Cowboys matchup will look. Does Jordan Love worry me? A tad bit, especially with Stephon Gilmore going down today. The injury to Gilmore is going to be key. We'll see how that progresses throughout the week, but if Gilmore can't go, we're going to have to rely on Deron Bland as the number 1 and then go from there, right? So hopefully Gilmore, just a little bit precautionary why they took him out of the game. Hopefully it's nothing big. We'll probably hear some Gilmore news by the end of the night, probably tomorrow morning, but that's going to be a big, big thing to watch right there. Also, Tyler Smith, what's going to happen with him with this plantar fasciitis? Complete tear, missed today. Will he be good to go by next week? That's going to be also critical. So we'll see what happens. You want to go out of the game, no injuries, but unfortunately, Stephon Gilmore left the game with an injury. Hopefully he's back by next week because I feel they're going to need him against Jordan Love and some of those young receivers that the Packers possess. That's a team that can get a little scrappy on you if you let them. That's a team that wants to kind of make it a track meet, in my opinion. And Jordan Love can deliver some balls, dude. So that's going to be something to watch for as we head into next weekend. Cowboys 38, Commanders 10, Cowboys NFC East champions. Just going to enjoy the ride. Bobby says, I'm just going to enjoy the ride like I did last postseason with the Rangers. Just got to enjoy it. We'll worry about the Packers when the weekend comes. We'll start looking at the Packers game on Wednesday and what happens when the Cowboys start practicing and start getting some news and notes on that, guys. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Post-game show ending. Appreciate y'all being here. Of course, Cowboys 38, Commanders 10, NFC East champs, number 2 overall seed, 3 straight 12-win seasons, the second division title in 3 years. Dak looked great. CD balling. Defense got a couple of takeaways. Defense was sacking Sam Howell. Felt bad for Sam Howell at the end of that game. Pollard looked pretty sharp. Cowboys rolled on all cylinders today. Aubrey missed one. It's all right. He came back and made a 50-yarder. That's all good. You need to miss one from time to time, in my opinion. Get that out of the way before the playoffs. But the Cowboys roll into the playoffs, number 2 seed, division champs, 2-game winning streak, and they got the Packers next weekend. All right. That's it for me. I got to go take care of some business. Appreciate y'all boys and gals getting in here. Share this video. Share it. Share it. Share it. I would appreciate it if y'all guys gave it a share. That would help me out a lot. Go to my YouTube, Sports Rush Media, of course. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Radio show every Sunday morning, News Talk KEYS. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple, you name it. It's out there, Sunday Sports Rush. All right, I'm out. I love you guys. It's a Cowboys victory Sunday night. Tomorrow's Cowboys victory Monday. Hope everybody has a great one. And I'll talk to you guys next week for the playoff post-game show. Have a great and wonderful night. How about them Cowboys?